We started the Mandaamin Institute in 2011 in order to continue the work that I've been doing for 21 years, breeding corn for organic farmers. We don't work with genetic engineering. We use classical breeding methods. We respect the crop, and we try to draw out the inherent gifts of the crop and to bring them to a level that's never been achieved before. Most of the organic farmers want to have hybrids because the hybrids have more vigor and they produce a higher yield most of the time, and certainly under stress conditions they seem to out-yield the open pollinated varieties. But we produce both open pollinated varieties and hybrids. The situation is that the present agriculture that we have is pretty sick. Our culture speaks about corn and teaches about corn as if it's just genetic machinery. I don't think that we can go forward with a healthy agriculture unless we begin to respect our domesticates and to work with them in a respectful way and to appreciate them. Corn is a wonderful, wonderful crop to work with. It's so rich and so giving and so mysterious and so fun to work with. We've been working with strains of corn, ancient strains of corn, that seem to have the ability to work with microorganisms to get nitrogen both from the air and from the soil. This is a Czech variety, which has not been selected for nitrogen fixation. It's a variety that's adapted to the upper Midwest. It did very poorly under these conditions. Some of our varieties had up to 90% full ear set, and some of them had very large ears. Somehow they were getting the nitrogen. And so we began a process of examining what was this corn. We crossed it with our corn, and we discovered that these varieties really responded to the presence of nitrogen-fixing bacteria by producing a lot more protein, about 20% more protein. If the plants can get their nitrogen from better utilization of soil organic matter or from the air with the help of microbes, that's going to tighten up the way that we live on this planet. We need to change the vision of how we grow our corn and the type of corn that we grow to have a healthier corn, a corn that isn't working in a mechanistic way to produce a gadget type of variety. You can see the larger amounts of seed where we've multiplied seed for trials on farms of our very high quality, high methionine, high protein, high lysine corn. Chickens prefer orange seed. They will go out of their way to pick out seeds like this. They love it. And that orange color, that's really important for human eye health. That pigment in there, the carotenoids in there. We have that same color in the back of our eyes. And it's also not only good for our eyes, but for our general health, to be eating more of that. Contamination with GMO, genetically modified organism corn, is a problem for those who don't want to have those GMOs in their food supply. One way to control it with corn, which is a major crop that has been genetically engineered, is to have varieties that have the trait called gametophytic incompatibility. What that means is that if pollen arrives on the ear from a GMO corn or from any other corn that doesn't have the same gametophytic incompatibility trait, it won't allow itself to be pollinated. We're enhancing corn as a living organism that we respect to bring out its inherent gifts. This is what's called an isolation, where we're growing seed for next year's trials. We've been making hybrids here between our male. This row right here is our male, and we took the tassels off on this set so that they get pollen from the male, and voila, a hybrid. We send this seed out for testing on different organic sites all around the country and also to other countries. So the map here shows where we have testing of our varieties from different cooperators. And we've established a testing network that goes all the way from Washington State out to Moldova. We also have a cooperator in Canada, and we have a winter nursery site in Puerto Rico. It's the only organic winter nursery site in the world where we grow our varieties in the wintertime in order to increase the speed at which we can breed our corn and release varieties. The economics of having corn on our continent are enormous. The crop is basically owned now by 3 or 4 companies in terms of seed production and control. We're the alternative. We're going a different path. We're breeding in the public interest. But for us to get beyond being a vision, to actually make it onto the ground, we have to commercialize our product. We have to have a company that provides the kind of weight that we need to break into the market. I'd like to see a situation where the corn that we grow, and granted corn is our most productive cereal crop, the corn that we grow is a different kind of corn. It provides nutritional and ecological services that make for a healthier planet.